I've recently had an interesting conversation with an old friend. He has always been wondering that really annoying question that we all ask ourselves and we ask other people for their feedback. He always wanted to know what his purpose was. Uh, purpose. That he doesn't believe in an afterlife, and nor do I. Not that I totally discount the possibility, but there is no definitive, conclusive answer to that. So I personally don't believe in an afterlife, and I believe that our purpose is self-appointed. Um, my friend in this case has always been wondering why he does everything that he does, why he gets up to go to work, why he bothers to shave and take care of himself, when ultimately in the end we all die, and that's it. So tonight I was thinking it over, and I've come to the conclusion, not that I have an answer, but I've come to the conclusion that um, we don't have an answer to that question simply because we don't know the purpose of why we exist. And this isn't so much so an existentialist, drawn out question that we often ask ourselves, why am I here? But more so, why would you do anything unless you knew the end result? That why would you work hard for anything if you didn't know of the reward? Now, there are people who have different answers. Let's say for Christianity, there is the threat of hell and the promise of heaven. So obviously to them, they found their answer, their definitive answer, because they truly believe this is what it is. Versus paganism, they are very optimistic for the body and pessimistic for the soul, to put it in classical terms. If you believe in reincarnation, then you would believe in things like karma, that if you left a good life, then you would be reincarnated in a blessed life, I suppose, if that would be the correct terminology. I wonder what people's interpretations of their purpose would be if they were under the impression that there were no afterlife. So, I'm assuming that we will never be able to answer why we're here simply because we don't know our ultimate end. Is there an afterlife? And if there is, what is it? Knowing what it is, if there is one, would give us a very clear reason and code of conduct as to what we do in this particular life. If there is no afterlife, then simple enough. You have two choices. One, you can go ahead and kill yourself, and if you've already pondered suicide simply because of the reason that there is nothing that follows this life. So be good or bad, rich or poor, benefit your society or not, you're going to die, and that's it. It doesn't matter if you're famous, because you're not going to be able to enjoy it watching from heaven or wherever you are. So you could either go ahead and kill yourself, or you can enjoy your time here and see what you can accomplish. And if you want to lead a life of depravity, then go ahead. Enjoy yourself, have fun, but be aware of the constructs of the system that you live in. As Joseph Campbell would say, that you cannot really change the system, but you can learn to live in it. So, two choices. You can enjoy yourself and do what you can, benefit yourself, benefit others, whatever you choose, or you can just go ahead and commit suicide. Now, if you had pondered this thought, the second thought, and you've pondered it more than once or twice, and you haven't gone ahead and done it, you probably aren't going to do it. So, you might want to consider taking on the former option. So, I suppose that's my thought for the evening. If you have any feedback on this, whether you believe in an afterlife or not, or any form of an afterlife, or reincarnation, or maybe those faiths that you believe that everyone goes to heaven regardless. You know, there are very different sects of different religions. Do give me your feedback. So, personally, I was just considering my friend's condition, and I find it interesting that for as long as I've known him, he's always wondered about his purpose. And all I could ever say to him was that if you're going to contemplate suicide and you are unhappy in the conditions of your life, and yet you're not going to do anything about it, either end it all or take action against it and change it. Because no one wants to hear anyone complain, whether it's about your job or your health or your family or whatever. Don't complain about something and do nothing about it, because it's not going to change on its own. You have to do something on your half. So my friend in this particular case has always been curious as to why he's here, and he's always coming to me for insight. And I tell him outright that I don't know, but what I can propose is such and such. So that's my thought of the evening. I believe that we don't have a definitive answer to our purpose here, because we don't have a definitive answer to whether or not anything is to follow our purpose in this life. So it's mostly cause and effect to me. If you have feedback that goes along other guidelines, which I'm sure you do, I would greatly appreciate it. So thank you for listening. Have a good night.